Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's Forex and cryptocurrency market analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. It's been a great week. So last week I gave you a webinar and I told you that the market is starting to give direction. It looks like the Christmas rally has started. A lot of setups in the next coming sessions. So it's time to make money. We've been in a correction for some time. Now it's time to make money. The directions are very clear, as you will see with today's analysis. I mean, I spent about 1 hour, 40 minutes last week, which is usually longer than what I do with these webinars, because there were a lot of setups and I wanted you guys to see that. So you will see as we do the trade recaps, just to see the stuff that we've been busy with in our trading room. So you can see how that has gone. We've caught a lot of pips. So we will do the trade setups shortly, but stay glued for today's webinar. Don't move an inch. It's going to be very interesting. By interesting, you know, by now I mean a lot of clear setups. So a lot of money to be made in the next coming sessions. Right. So just remember, what I do here is forecasting, not necessarily the detailed trading setups that we do in our group. We'll talk about my group just now, but let's talk about how you can benefit from these videos. If you are watching this and you're only interested in specific pairs, when you watch the video on YouTube, this is what you need to do. If you're looking for only specific pairs, you go to the Show More tab. Here under the Show More tab, if you click here, you will find that all the pairs that I'm going to discuss here today are time-stamped. So that means any pair, you can just go on to the time. You click on the time. This is linked to exactly where the pair analysis starts. So if you're clicking on a pound US dollar, that means it's going to take you right to pound US dollar analysis. Then you don't have to search around looking for pairs. It makes it very easy. So the reason why I like this so much is that you can also do back testing with these specific videos. You can go back in time, a couple of videos back, and just see what the analysis has been leading up to the current prices. So that works amazing. Please use it. It works very well. All right, so the next course, we're actually starting with our October course tomorrow. I just want to discuss the course quickly. We're starting with our October course tomorrow. It's a 2 weeks course. So that is 1 week of theory and 1 week of practical. The course is $529 US. And that price will remain until this year. Next year, we're going to review the price because we're doing so much in the group. So what does that cover? That covers your course attendance and access to our trading room, that is our trading group. So what do you find in our trading group? I'll discuss what you find in our trading group when we do the trade setups, just so you can see exactly how we do that. So that is the course. For more details on the course, send me an email and you'll get more detail as to the course content, the timing, or the notes and the materials that is used for the course. If you send me an email, you get that specific detail. So please make note, this October course that is starting tomorrow is the second last of the year. Right, so the next course after the one that starts tomorrow is going to be in December. All right, so December the 3rd. So we're going to start the last course of the year on the 3rd of December. After that, there will not be another course for this year. That is the last one for this year. So please prepare if you want to attend the course still this year. The last one will start on the 3rd of December. It's a 2 weeks course, right? After that, we will not be doing any course until the end of January. Possibly the next course will start the first week of February next year. So between December and then, what you can find is the course videos, because the course is fully recorded on videos. So you can actually watch the course. It's over 20 hours of video materials to watch for the course, because the full course it is recorded. So even if you do not want to attend now in October, you don't have to wait for February. You can join the course now and start watching the videos and still be a part of our premium group. So what do you find in our premium group? So this is what we use in our premium group. We use a Slack platform. What is the advantage of that? So advantage of that, if you see here on the left hand side, you'll see that there's a channel for each and every pair. Mostly all the pairs that are discussed here, we've got a channel for all of them here on our Slack platform. So Slack is a similar platform as your Telegram and WhatsApp, but it's just more organized. So every single pair has got its own channel here. So what I do with these channels is that I update the daily chart and the 4-hour chart. So let's just give you an example. If you're looking at the pound pairs, so if you look at the pound pairs, you'll find that on every channel you'll have my daily chart on a pound on every channel. Let's just go back here. So that is for example, pound Audi, you'll find a setup for a pound. So it's not necessarily a setup, but a forecast. I'll show you the setups just now. Pound CAD as well, you'll find my all of my charts will be pinned in here. So that means if you are in the group and you're still struggling with the wave theory, you still have an advantage to just have a look at how we do the wave count on all the pairs that we look at. So you see pound chief, it is all in there, pound US dollar, all the pairs that we analyze are all set up there in our channel. So that is the advantage of being in the premium group. All right. So even if you attend the course, for the first the 2 weeks course, I don't expect you to be a pro waiver in just 2 weeks. So that is why I give you mentorship for 2 years. And what do we do in that 2 years? Every single day in our group, we've got what we term the daily webinars. So during the daily webinars, this is where we go in detail. So with these webinars on Sundays, I don't go into details. I just give you the forecast, right? So on the daily webinars, you'll see that these are daily recordings for all the sessions that we have every single day. We've got webinars every single day, Monday to Thursday, analyzing the market, discussing entry points. Basically we do trade management, because it cannot just be a trade setup and an entry and an entry and an exit. You need to know where to enter, where to exit, and when to move to break even. Those things we discuss during the daily webinars. So that is the advantage of being in the group. So we've got a community of over about 300 waivers, all of us looking at the market using this very method that we use, which is the Elliott wave theory. So you've got 300 people looking at the market with the same eye. So when we differ, we discuss why we're differing, and you'll find that most 80%, 90% of all these guys, we're looking at the same thing. So what I'm looking at here, the traders in the group know what we are looking at. So what we do, so somebody asks what happens then after 2 years. So after 2 years, you can either stay on and assist newer traders, or you can stay on for a small fee, just an administrative fee. Right, so but most people will stay on and assist others. So if you don't want to assist others, you pay a small fee. But I do not think that you will need me. You will need me after 2 years. If you still need me after 2 years, then this course would have not been beneficial for you. Then maybe trading is not necessarily for you. Right, so that is the advantage of being in the group. You get all the charts updated. So now we've talked about updated charts, and I said that is just forecasting. So now let's talk about trading itself. What have we been busy with in the week, in the past couple of days? So let's look at trade setups. So we've got a channel that is called Trade Setups. So all these channels, anybody can post their charts, but all my charts will be pinned as I've indicated. For example, here, everybody post their charts, and you'll see that most of them, they are all similar. We're looking at the same things, and all my charts will be pinned, so that everybody who wants to see my charts will look at them. So now there is also a channel where I post specifically the trade setups, and this is this one here. Let's do this trade setups. Okay, we're gonna get started in a moment. So this is trade setups. So this is where I post. You'll see that this trade is posted with an entry point, with a stop loss area, and with the target. Now that is a setup, like it's an entry, it's a trigger point, and that means you can actually take the trade. So I've made a summary of all the trades that we have taken in the last couple of weeks on this channel where only I have access. So let's just have a look at what we've been looking at in the past couple of weeks, not past couple of days, in the last week actually. All right, so let's have a look. Right, let's look at this here. And look at the ones that I've posted today. So let's start with pound US dollar, pound Audi. So if you look at pound, this is the chart that I've posted last week. and you'll see that we've discussed that pound AUD, we needed to get a correction here before it pushes higher. All right, so that was a forecast. And the next chart, you'll see that now we're starting to get a trading, an entry point. We're looking for an entry point, okay, to actually take this trade to the upside. That is the next chart. And then after that, we actually get a setup. Now it is ready to go. We take the setup, stop loss, entry point, and target. Okay, so you guys know how the pound AUD or the pound pairs have been doing last week. So we've caught all those moves. So this is what eventually happened, and that is how you plan the trade. You forecast, you set up, and you take the trade. Basically trade management. So that is pound AUD. So you've got all those points there. It has already moved over. It has already moved over 600 points since the breakout here around this level. Okay, so many pips in just a couple of days. So that is pound AUD. AUD US dollar is another setup. You can see there's the entry point. There's a stop loss area, entry point, target. Okay, what you don't see there is the area where you need to move to break even. That's part of what we discussed in our daily webinars. So that is a setup. AUD US dollar, you see what happened? We got all that move to the downside. Target hit. Okay, it was a good week last week, so many pips. Right, so that is AUD US dollar. Now the next one here is pound New Zealand. You guys know what happened with pound New Zealand. On Friday alone, it moved over 200 pips. Okay, so pound New Zealand, this is what happened. Okay, over 200 pips on just Friday alone already. So been going well with the pound pairs. And these setups are all discussed in our group during the daily webinars. US dollar ZAR, you can see the setup before it happened. Okay, we know what to wait for. We will know what to wait for, or what trigger to wait for. It gives us the trigger, we take the trade, and this is how the trade is going. Just a few pips from target, you can see that's how it's going. Okay, so that is what you get in our groups. Just so many setups that we got in the last week. So another one was US dollar CAD. We discussed US dollar CAD extensively, even during these free Sunday webinars. And I said, we're coming to the blue box here. Even before the blue box happened, I showed you how this was going to build up and how this was going to come up. It has now happened, and now we've got a pulsing move to the upside. That pulsing move does not mean anything as yet until you get a corrective structure, but I'm specifically looking for this big move. All right, so that is US dollar CAD, and that is how US dollar CAD is starting to play out. You can already see that we've got that pulsing move that I'm speaking about. All right, that is pound US dollar. Now there's pound JPY. Pound JPY has not played out as we have planned as yet. So you will see that pound JPY is still around this current area. Right, so I'm looking for this to give us one more down. And as we discussed during the analysis, we'll actually discuss during the analysis because nothing has happened since this setup. We're still expecting this one to either drop for one more or it can go from here. So we need to wait for that confirmation. Nothing has happened, that's why I don't have the after chart. Now the next one, interesting one, beautiful one, EURAUD. You can see the setup, clear wave structure, clear sequence. All we needed to get was an entry trigger, and that has happened, and now the trade has moved a couple of 100 pips. You can see that we're already looking upside on this one. Okay, so I have to do this to show you that this actually works, because we have discussed this. We've discussed these trades during this Sunday webinar. So the only thing that we don't discuss here, as I say, is the entry points. I give you the forecast. You have to use your own strategy. This guides you or assists you in terms of, and you need to apply it in terms of your own strategy, because we're not giving you signals. So that is how that works. All right. So. Lastly on the course. So who is the course meant for? The course is meant for anybody who has attended a course previously and is still not doing well. Experienced traders that are not making consistent profits. So you should be experienced. You cannot. This is not for beginners. It's not for people who are clueless about forex. You must have been trading and just struggling to get the consistency and get it right. More especially people who have attended a course before. So once you attend this course, you'll never attend another course before, because you will also get a recording of the course, and all the whole course is done online. So that's that about the course. Don't miss the last one in December, because after that it's going to be about 3 months before we get the next one in February next year. So take advantage. before we close for December and we go on holidays and spend some profits. We need to spend some profits, by the way. Right, so let's get started. I've spent enough time about that. So let's look at the charts for this week. Now let's look at the Euro US dollar and the dollar index. There's a slight adjustment on the wave count based on how this is playing out. So if you're looking on Euro US dollar at the top here, you'll remember that this was not my wave 4. This was actually an ABC move after this. After this was supposed to be the wave 5. I was looking for this one to give me a double correction and more upside. So that has changed the structure slightly. You'll see as I go to the specific, to the individual Euro US dollar chart, what the change is and how this is now playing out. Very clear structure now. So let's have a look. So we've got the Euro US dollar and the DXY. Let me just see if I can get as bigger a view as possible here. So we got this swing down here, and it looks like that swing is not complete. So the sequence is not complete. We're still on wave 4 on the Euro US dollar. We're still on wave 4, or we've completed wave 4 on the DXY. So I have to go into a single chart so that you can see the whole structure clearly. So let's go to a single chart. We'll look at Euro US dollar and we'll look at both of them. So they're inversely correlated. So let's have a look at what the structure is giving us here. So now if you look at the higher degree will be this one, where you've got a 1, you've got a 2 in red there. And then lower degree, you've got a sequence here, which is 1, 2, 3. And then these 4 became a triangle, as you can see there, and that becomes a 5. Now, if that is the case, that means we are not done with the downside move. So that means this becomes now a wave 4, and now we're going for a wave 5. But you just need to be careful with this wave 4, because this wave 4, as you can see here, it has made a 1, 2, 3 wave move. There's a possibility that this can make a 1, 2, 3 wave move here as well, bounce back and comes down, and this will still be a wave 4. So whether you get this bounce or not, it shouldn't really matter, because you will see what this will give you. So your wave 4 could be something like this. So let me just switch off the labelings there so this can be clear. So this is what you're going to be looking at here. So this is your 1, this is your 2, this is your wave 3, this is your wave 4, and we'll be looking for a 5 there to the downside. Okay, so these 4, this bounce here might not happen, and this can actually go for a wave 5 from here. Okay, so if you are taking the trade here, just move it to break even when you get to this level, because from this level there's a possibility for a bounce, but you will see if there's indications of a reversal around this area. So that is how clear this is now. If you like numbers, you can just label the lower degree 1, 2, 3, and then a 4, and then this 4 would have been that triangle that we looked at. This would have been this triangle here. Okay, so that's what we looked at. So clear structure on the Euro US dollar. What's going to happen after the wave 5? Okay, we'll be updating that as the webinars go on. We'll be looking for the bounce that will then go to the 1.2. We've been looking for this to bounce from here because we thought this was the wave 5, but we can see clearly now that the sequence is not complete, and this degree has only completed around this level. Right, so clear structure. So what do you need to wait for in the next coming session? Wait for this to break to the downside. Okay, you wait for this downside. Okay, that is Euro US dollar, the DXY. So the DXY is the inverse of what Euro US dollar is doing. So exactly the same thing. So you will see that now we're looking at the same swing, but in the opposite direction. This is a bullish one, 1, 2, right? And then internally you've got a 5-wave structure as well, an extended wave 3, 1, 2. And then your wave 4 becomes a triangle like that, and this is what we call a running triangle. We call this one a running triangle. Okay, as Elliot has discovered. Okay, it's a wave 4 running triangle, right? And then after that, we get. Let's just do this here. Let's just do this. So this is a wave 3, and then this becomes a wave 4 that ends here, and then a wave 5. So this one here becomes a running triangle like that. So this is a running triangle. After the running triangle, we get a push higher into wave 3. After the wave 3, now you get that wave 4 that is similar to what you have on Euro US dollar. And as I said here, on Euro US dollar, you are waiting for this correction here to break to the upside. Could this be the one that goes for the wave 5, or will this one give us one bounce back before it goes and give us a regular flat here before it goes? So that is what we're going to need to watch in the next coming sessions. And then the structure is very clear. You can see that we've got a 1, 2 there, 3,
and then you could have your 4 there, or the 4 could be here. If the 4 is here, then that means this is going to go from here. If the 4 is here, it means we're going to have a flat first before we go up. So that is the structure, looking very clear now. So internally, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is not like that. This 1, 2, 3, and then a wave 4 ends here. So this is a very clear structure. Euro, US dollar, and the DXY are giving very simple structures because it's just simple impulsive move. You just have to adjust as it goes on. So now you're looking for this move initially, and you'll see if this is going to go all the way, right? So you should be able to project wave 5 if you know anything about the Elliott wave theory. Okay. All right. So that is how that is going at this stage. So let me just quickly check on the chat box. Looks like there's some questions. All right, so Roxy's asking the question. Please copy the questions and put them up for everybody to see. Okay, Roxy's still talking about the course. So if you've taken a course before, it is all the same. We do things differently. All right, so any questions about the course, wait towards the end of the video. So let's now focus on market analysis. All right, so let's carry on with the rest of the analysis now, looking for a bounce, for a correction, and then a bounce up. Okay, that is the DXY. Now let's look at, let's go through the rest of the US dollar pairs. Now, what are we looking at now? Pound, US dollar. Pound, US dollar, what did we say last week? Last week, we were waiting for this to come down into the blue box area. Okay, last week we waited for it to, let me just clean this up here. We waited for this one to come down into the blue box area, making this 1, 2, 3, 4, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. A 3-wave move. We were here last week. This was correcting, and I said we're going to get into the blue box. And from the blue box, we're going to push higher. Why are we pushing higher? Because we now have this is what we have. Let me make this thicker now. There's clear structures in the next coming sessions. Okay, 1, 2, 3, clear. 1, 2, 3, correction. Now we're looking for another 1, 2, 3, up. Right, so you just need to wait for a corrective structure in the lower degree for a push higher in the lower degree. So bullish pound. Okay, you see how accurate this blue box magic is. Our proprietary blue box magic strategy works amazing. Right, so there is a video on YouTube under my channel. It's called How to Trade XXY or XXYXZ like a pro. Please do yourself a favor, watch that video. It will assist you. Only one of the few materials that I've given out on YouTube that can assist a lot of traders. So that's what you're going to be looking at, a clear XXY structure. It has made a single 3-wave structure, made a 3-wave pullback. Now we're looking for a double. We're looking for it to make a WXY structure there. Okay, very simple. All right, that is pound, US dollar. US dollar CAD. So US dollar CAD also, last week we said that this should go into the blue box and reverse. So look what happened. We made a 1, 2, 3 wave, 1, 2, 3 pullback. Okay, let's switch off the labelings and the lines there so we can see clearly. We got 1, 2, 3 pullback, and then we got 1, 2, 3. Last week I said we are going to go into the blue box before we push higher. We have now pushed higher with this move. Any corrective structure here for this one, we are going for a big move to the upside. Okay, so that is what we're looking for now on this structure, unless this move is unless this is gonna, this is the same size as this. If this is the same size as this, that means you can still get another correction here and get one more down before we actually go up like that. And then this is what we're gonna get: 1, 2, 3 correction, 1, 2, 3. So there's still this possibility because this has to be in relation with this degree, but still that will still be a WXY clear move for more upside. So let's see how this one plays out. Okay, I'm only showing you a single bias here. I don't want to show you a lot of alternatives that you can make your own decision when you do trading. But I show you the most probable alternative with the pairs. So very clear structure, and it's playing out exactly as we've analyzed. So that is a US dollar CAD, US dollar CHF. If you look at US dollar CHF, we have been looking at this. I have to show you this daily now. Let me show you the daily. We have been looking at this daily chart since 2017, and we have looked at something very interesting. Now look, when I bring up the labeling, very interesting. It has been playing out since. Okay, we are looking at this as a diagonal, and this diagonal goes something like this. It is incomplete there. Let's see if I can have the whole structure. So let's put that up. So you see that we've got this diagonal. Let's do this in straight lines. We've got this diagonal there. We've got this diagonal over there. Okay, now that diagonal starts with a wave 1 like that. I'm going to do it with a free hand. The diagonal starts with a wave 1, 3 wave 2, 3 wave 3, 3 wave 4, and now we're looking for wave 5. Let's switch off the labelings there. Okay, now we're looking for this wave 5. So what has been happening here is that we have this one as an impulsive move. Wave 1 is an impulsive move according to the rules that is acceptable. You have this one as a 3-wave move for a wave 2, that's acceptable. You have this one here as a 1, 2, 3-wave move for a wave 3, and then you've got this one as a wave 4 as a 3-wave move. Now you're getting this wave 5 as a 1, 2. Where should you go from here? Simple, you have to go up. That's what we've been analyzing. This is how we've been trading pound chief. Okay, it is a simple 1. Let's label this diagonal. It is a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going for a wave 5. We are on the first A of a wave 5, A, and now we are on a B. This B was an expanding flat, and now we're going up. That is why you've got that move to the upside. Okay, we've been looking at this. If you go look at videos from last year, you'll see that I had this triangle from last year, and we've been trading it like this. Right, so now let's just go into the 4-hour and see what we have now. 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, let's look here. Let's bring on the labelings. So 4-hour, you had this one as an expanding flat. Let's do the yellow color. In the 4-hour, you had this one as an expanding flat. It is still a valid expanding flat according to the rules. This 3-wave move that you see here is an expanding flat. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 waves there, 3 waves there, and an impulsive move to the downside. Now, what are you waiting for? You just need to get a deeper corrective structure for this to go all the way to complete your wave 5. That's what you need to wait for on US dollar chief. US dollar, Audi US dollar. Audi US dollar is one of the pairs that we discussed on the trade setups. Let's have a look at this one. So this one is a very interesting one. Let's look on the daily. I'll give you the daily chart as well for this one, because it's a beautiful chart. It's a beautiful chart that's playing out perfectly. We're making a lot of money on this one. So I've indicated that this move to the downside has not completed, and we still needed to get one, and we need to go to the blue box. The blue box is still only about 150 pips away, so we need to get a correction, and we go into the blue box. After this, we then expect this move to the upside. So that is why if you'll see on the 4-hour, you'll see there was a setup to sell this one right at the top. Okay, now we've sold it, and now we're going to wait for this one to come down here. This is incomplete. We're targeting only this area. Now it is cleared at that area. Now we're going to look to get the rest of the move to the downside. Okay, so that's Audi. And if you look on the 4-hour, so it is making what looks like a V pattern right here at the bottom. And if this becomes a V pattern, it's a likelihood that you get a 3-wave pullback, and that 3-wave pullback will just be propelling you for the last move to the downside. Okay, so once you get this, then we complete the move to the downside. Very interesting structures all around. Okay, it's the Christmas rally, guys. It has started. It is time to make money. Okay, so we'll be catching all these moves in the next coming sessions because they are so clear. Now that is Audi. Now New Zealand, similar. So New Zealand, if we're on the 4-hour here, we just need to go to the last wave. We're looking for the last wave 5 there. Any corrective structure, you can take this one down. Still bearish, we're still taking it down. So wait for these corrections and take it down. Simple. Lastly, on the US dollar pairs, US dollar ZAR, we've discussed this one during the setups. It has come down. Also, this one, we spoke about this one last week, that it needs to go into the blue box, which it has now done. You see, not a peep lower, not a peep higher than the blue box. It has now made a move to the upside. Now, what is it going to do? We're going to wait for it to come here and give us a correction. If it gives us a correction, our next target on US dollar ZAR is this area. Unfortunately, for us South Africans, the US dollar, the ZAR is very weak against the majors. Okay, so we are still going to be in a bit of a difficult time in the next couple of sessions. Okay, so if you have your trading accounts in dollars, then you are at an advantage. All right, so that's what you're going to be looking at. We're looking for a correction and further upside, because this is a clear 3-wave move down, and then the 3-wave move up will give us this structure. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at. I'll be expecting this bounces back before it goes for a flat correction like that. Okay, but for now, wait for this corrective structure. It is already happening. Right now, those are the US dollar pairs. Now let's look at gold and silver before we go to the yen pairs. So gold looks interesting. Let's have a look here. So gold on the 4-hour. Okay, we are on the fourth wave here on gold. So let's just go to the daily quickly so you can see what we're looking at here. So gold, we are on the fourth wave, as you see there. So that's why when I go to the 4-hour, I'm looking for this one to give me a push higher. I don't know if we will get this push higher, because Audi is still looking so weak, and Audi and gold are correlated. But let's have a look on the 4-hour. Okay, the 4-hour. So if you look on the 4-hour, we're still looking for the one push up before we come down. Let's just clear that. Okay, I shouldn't clear that. It will be visible in other time frames. So gold, we're looking for this structure to the upside. Let me switch off the labelings. So if you switch off that, you'll see that we made a 3-wave move up on wave 4, and we made a 1, we made a 2, we've made a 3 as well, and now we're making this one. So what's happening here is that you're getting this corrective structure here. So if you get this corrective structure here, then that means that that is a 1, 2, 3 wave, and we're gonna get that move. When we get that move, then we're looking for the drop. Okay, and if we get that drop, then that would be all of wave 4 like that. That would be a wave 4, and then we'll be looking for that wave 5 right down to going right to the downside, and that will complete that move to the downside. We're looking for this one to go right down around the 1120 area, and that is gold. All right, silver, we are in this correction as well. So the fact that we're expecting gold to push higher, but before we go to silver, let's just show you that there's a possibility that this one can actually may go down like that without going for one more down. It can actually be an expanding diagonal and go and start with a move to the downside. Okay, so this has happened before. If you look on the daily, let's just go to the daily and show you that a move like that looks corrective and looks like it's going to push up higher, actually then just drops to the downside. If you look here, this was 2016. You see here, this looks like a corrective structure and looked like it was going to push higher, but it just made an expanding or a leading diagonal, and then it pushed lower. So it is possible that this one on the 4-hour does exactly the same thing. And instead of us getting that one push higher, so we just need to keep an eye on it. But right now it looks like it's setting up for one higher. Okay, this can be an expanding diagonal, and then it just pushes down like that. Okay, but that's not the move that we're looking for. We're just saying that if it happens like that, then we may not get this one up. But I am expecting the one up. But it doesn't matter what I want. What matters is what the price is going to give us. When it gives us, we will be able to catch it. Right, so that is gold and silver. Let's look at silver. Silver, you can see that silver wants to give us one more up. We spoke about this structure. Okay, let me show you the 4-hour, and I'm going to go to the higher time frame. On silver, we're looking for this to be a 1, a 2, a 3-wave structure. Okay, so this may be a WX, and this one here, Y, and if this is giving us a 3-wave move, we could be getting that last Z. So that last Z will support the last up on gold before we drop. Okay, so you guys know that I said that around this area, if we make a corrective structure, which looks like a corrective structure right now, then after that, we are going to drop around the 1350 area. Let's just have a look on the daily and see what I mean by that. If you look on the daily on silver, this is not going up aggressively at this stage, and I'll be looking for this to drop. And if this one drops, I'll be looking for it to come back to around this area. It's not a support and resistant area, it is a structural area. Okay, what do we mean by structural area? I just need to drop this a little bit down here. So this is a structural area, and we could be making, okay, we've made a move up here, that's 3 waves, and now we're making this corrective structure. So everything from 2017 up to this stage has been a corrective structure. If you look here, there's a running flat in the middle, and we're looking for this one. It's a 3-wave move, but that 3-wave move does not look to be complete. It looks like it's got one more down to this level. Okay, that's why I'm looking for that. And from there, we'll be looking for this one to bounce to the upside. Okay, so that is the structural cell level on silver. So now we look out for this structure here. Let's see if it drops. If it doesn't drop, then we're gonna we're gonna adjust the analysis on that. All right, so it has to give you a setup And right now it's got a setup for one short move to the upside. So you shouldn't miss this short move in case you get a bigger move like that. Okay. It's still a tradable move with a good risk to reward if you know, if you've got a proper strategy to look at it. So that's silver and gold. Now let's look at the yen pairs. Yen pairs have got interesting clear structures. Pound JPY. Pound JPY we discussed during the trade setups, and we've discussed for the last couple of days that it's got two alternatives. It's got two structures. Even if I've got the labeling here, I've got one bias, and these are the two structures that I've shown you. This either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 WXYXZ move. Let's switch off here. Let me show you what I mean by that. So if it's giving us a WXYXZ move, if this is that case, this will now correct from here, and it will push higher, and it will go back. It will go and retest the 57 area. We're currently in this corrective structure here. A break out of this corrective structure will mean that we're going to minimum retest the 57 area. Okay, clearing this, then we're even ready for even bigger upside. Okay, right. So that's what we're going to be looking at for now. We're looking for this corrective structure. It is still in the making. Okay. So if that is not the case, the second alternative is that this one drops for one more. If it drops for one more, then that means that this was a W, this was a X, this was a Y, giving you a 1, 2, giving you a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. It's all about the degrees, and another 1, 2, 3 wave. Okay, giving you this regular flat in the middle here. Okay, so then after that, will it only go from there? But if you can see why we've got the alternative. So any alternative that you have, it must be supported by the rest of the labelings going back into the historical data. You don't just have an alternative right onto the end of the string. It should make sense historically as well. So both of these will make sense historically. All right, so that's what you're going to look at. We'll look at how this is going to complete. Let's just check it quickly on the 4 hour. If you look at this one in the 4 hour, let's look at what we're getting there. Let's just go into detail now. All right, so we've had a pulsing move to the downside here. It's a pulsing move, and it looks like we made this 1, this 2, this 3. This one may still push back up higher, maybe retest that level, and then from there we may get a drop from the pound like that, and then we push higher, giving this as an ABC correction, and then we push further up. Okay, that means the WXYXZ alternative will have played out. Otherwise, we'll see if it's going to give us an expanding diagonal for a move to the downside. But we're looking for this one to do this. Right, so that is pound JPY. Let's look at the rest of the yen pairs. US dollar JPY. US dollar JPY. I'm looking for a corrective structure, a deeper corrective structure from where we are now. Okay, a deeper corrective structure for it to push higher. There's a reason for that. Wait for it to correct, pull back. I'm waiting for the pullback here in this area. You can see all the forecast here. I'm looking for this one to retest around this area, push back up to complete that wave, and push higher. I'm just going to show you in the daily. So for now, in the next coming sessions, wait for this to correct. Then we're going to get this move. And then after that, we're going to wait for an even deeper one. Then we're going to wait for the move to the upside. So while we're looking at that, let's just show the daily quickly. Okay. I'm hoping to be complete in 1.5 hours in this year, guys. Right. So that's what the structure looks like on US dollar JPY. It's a clear 3-wave move in the higher degree like that. That's your W, that's your X, that's your Y ending at that level. Now on this, you can see that we had a lower degree 3-wave move, A, B, C, 3-wave move. A has not completed, we'll be looking for a B, we'll be looking for this to complete, giving us this 3-wave structure. So that is what you're looking at. Now you're looking for this correction on wave 4 in green to push up 5, and then you're going to wait for this one in red to push up the completion of C. Interesting like that. That is US dollar JPY, EUROJPY. Now, EUROJPY, expecting more pullback on the yen pairs. Okay, we're not expecting reversal necessarily. We're waiting for this one to pull back, give us corrections and push higher. That's the same thing that we're waiting for on EUROJPY. Okay, so we're on the daily. So wait for that to give you a clear corrective structure, not just a flag. It must be a clear corrective structure, and that is the corrective structure that you're looking at right here. And right now, it has only made a 3-wave move, which is incomplete. It can give us this, it can give us that one back before it goes up, and that would be a flat correction for further move to the upside. Okay, so for now, you wait for this one. You wait for on this one. You'll see on the break out of this. Okay, the euros are looking up, but the yens are looking to pull back at this stage. Now that is EURJPY in the structure you're looking at. CHFJPY. CHFJPY, it's got a very simple structure. If I just go to the daily, you'll see something very easy with this one. We are looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, and now we're looking for a pullback. We're going to get a 1, 2, 3 pullback before we go up. That's what we're going to be looking at on this one. So let's show you the daily chart, and you'll see how simple it is when you look at these charts with a different perspective. Just look at this perspective on CHFJPY. If you look at CHFJPY, you've got 1, 2, 3 there. You've got an expanding flat in the middle. This one there, expanding flat. And now you'll be looking for this one to give you possible structure like that, and a move to the upside. I need to change that. This will now be the yellow one. See what correction we get like that. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 3-wave pullback, 1, 2, 3. So now we're looking for this one. We're looking for that one over there. Internally, if you look at the internal structure, you'll see that this one has got a lower degree like that. Okay, this one has got a lower degree like that. This one has got a lower degree like that. You see, it plays out perfectly. Everything fits perfectly. This one has got a lower degree like that, but it's a degree lower than the rest. See here. Okay, so it's not about the numbers. It's not about the letters that we put on here. It is the degrees that matter. So after getting at this big enough corrective structure, you're going to be looking for the last move to the upside on this pair, giving us this simple 3-wave structure like this: a W, X, and a Z. Simple. Now, what is this 3-wave move? Correction. You had a pulse, you had a correction, and then a pulse. That's what I say. Elliott wave in 2 minutes is all about a pulse and a correction. Now look at this one here. This will be a clear correction there. Clear correction there. Then you've got this move to the downside. Simple, simple, simple stuff. Okay. You should be able to catch these moves if you've got a proper strategy, because you've got the forecast, and the forecast gives you direction. Right, so this was a clear A, B, C move with a diagonal there and an impulsive move there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now wait for this one, for another one down. Right, so that's CHFJPY. AUDJPY has been going down with the other euro pairs. Let me just go back to CHFJPY. I don't think I showed you the labeling there. Just show the numbers. Those that are interested in the numbers, those are the numbers that you have on that one. Okay, and then AUDJPY. AUDJPY, we are looking to get the green there. We're looking to get this green degree downside to complete this move before we push higher. Okay, so AUD is still very bearish. You can see even with the AUD, with AUD yen, we're still looking for downside. To AUD US dollar, we're still looking for downside. So the correlation is intact in terms of the structure as well. Right, so New Zealand similar to AUD yen, we will need a correction in this degree to come down to complete. So we're still bearish. We're still bearish. CADJPY, interesting structure, because we've got a pattern there. Those who like to trade patterns, and it's not just a pattern, you can see that this pattern falls within the structure. Okay, in this case, you've got to move down. Let me switch off that first so we can see what the structure is. We had a pulsing move to the downside. I need to do it with yellow. I prefer the yellow because it's more visible. We had an impulsive move down, and you're getting a corrective structure 1, 2, 3. So this corrective structure has completed, and we'll be looking to get this move to the downside. Minimum this level, because at this level we could form another structure, but this could go all the way and give us that one. But mostly they don't just give you a straight line. They'll give you something else with this structure. So that structure, that yellow structure, if I just show you here, this may not go in a straight line, it can give you a three-wave move like that. Can give you a three-wave move, and if it gives you a three-wave move, that means that you can still get one before you get the yellow. So that's why they don't just drop it like that. So that's why most of the time you will know where the market is going, but it does not go there in a straight line. You miss it because it has to form structures. So now, what are you looking for with CAD yen? You're looking for this one. If we've made a pulsing move, this is a daily, so you don't really see that pulsing move clearly. I'll show you on the smaller time frame that we need to drop on that one. So now, will that mean that oil is going to pull back? We'll see when we talk about oil. So let's just quickly check this one on the 4-hour. Okay, we've got a pulsing move to the downside. I think traders in our room have already sold it right at the top, because the top is actually the blue box, as well as it's a confluence of the blue box and the Gartley pattern. So we've already got that, and you're getting a pulse. Let's just quickly do this. You have a pulsing move down, you get a correction here, you get another one. So you're gonna wait to get a bit of a deeper one to take it all the way. Okay, that's how CAD is looking at this stage. Simple. So let's see if oil is gonna pull back with that move. Right, so that concludes all the yen pairs. Now let's look at the pound pairs. Pound pairs, so much money to be made here in the next couple of weeks. We've already started with the pound pairs last week. Only one that we missed and that we thought we was going to do something different was pound chief. But let's look at pound chief. So pound chief, it had made a three-wave move like that last week, a 1, 2, 3 complete there, and we thought that this dropping here was going to give us a correction, and we're going to get a move all the way to the downside, or it was going to give us a move like that was going to give us a double. Okay, it looks like now it is giving us a pulsing move to the upside. So now we'll relate. If we can't really see the structure on. Okay, we can actually do that. We can see the structure on pound chief. So that's the structure. We're looking for this to go all the way up now. It has reversed. It has reversed. Now you're looking for corrective structure to push higher. Just look at the daily and you'll see how far we're going on the pound pairs. Okay, so medium term on the pound pairs, I actually have also a bars pattern that's indicating to us that we are starting to get a corrective structure. If you look at this move here, we're looking for this one to give us WXYXZ, 11 swing sequence. If I just switch everything off there, you see that we've got an 11 swing sequence, WXYXZ. Now we're looking for this one to give us a Z. That means we're going to wait for a three-wave move there in a different degree. That means 1, 2, 3 to complete. After that, then we're going to expect a big drop on the pound pairs, because after the Z, we expect 10 lot size in the opposite direction, WXY. XZ. Okay, so that is how this one plays out. Okay, it will be interesting to see how this plays out. Okay, so let's just have a look. I just want to check on the chat box. I'm using a single laptop today because I'm not in my trading room. Okay, okay, so people are just commenting that they've sold. I think this guy's in my group. Okay, right, so you're just making a comment. Somebody's making a comment. I have never seen so many trades play out as anticipated. Well done. Thanks for that, guys. Right, so let me switch off the chat box and then we continue. Right, so that's what we get, and that's the this strategy is very accurate, and if you use it the right way, you can make a lot of money. So pound Swiss, it has reversed exactly at the 61% of this move. If you go to this level here, this is the 61%, and we talked about this reversing at the 61% because we said that if this does not give us a deeper move here, then they're not going to drop it. It's not going to break this level. So now they have to give us a deeper move here. Okay, so that is what is happening now. Wait for a correction. Look for this to push up higher. Right. So that is pound chief, pound Audi, my favorite. Okay, so pound Audi, a couple of weeks back, I got a few trades wrong. Why? Because I thought this was a WXY move. I thought it was a three-wave move. Okay, and that's normal. That's trading. And that's the wave theory. It's not perfect because you have to use your own discretion on some setups. Now, if this was a three-wave move, this was supposed to go down like that. But it is not a three-wave move. It is an 11 swing sequence. 11 swing sequence we discussed in our group. Okay, so that is we're looking for this one here. It is now a WXYXZ textbook clear. When we get to the Z, we're going to be looking for a big move to the downside. Okay, but for now, we're still enjoying the ride with the upside. Nowhere, the site is not inside as yet. We're still going to be making more money to the upside on the pound pairs. Okay, let's just show you the structure and how clear it is. That is the structure, and we're looking for this one. You can see now we're looking for this. This one has started this move, and that move is only this one. Okay, so we're still going to make, we're still going to go into this blue box here at this area. We're still far to complete this one here, which is the Z at that point where we're going to look. So look at where the blue box is. It is right where that channel line is. Okay, so we'll be looking for a big reversal move in that area, but I'm not worried about that. I'm just holding out for more to the upside. As you saw on the trade setups, we took this one right here. Okay, got a couple of trades wrong here because I was still looking for this one to give me a clear three-wave structure to the downside like this. Okay, so when I was here, I was still selling. Okay, so I got a couple of trades wrong there. So that's normal. You'll get some wrong. Okay, but you should know why you got them wrong. So after we saw that, okay, this is actually not a three-wave but a 11 swing sequence, then we started looking at this, that we're going to get a move to the upside. Now, that move that you get now recovers all the losses and you get even more profits on that. That's how you trade. Right, pound AUD, pound CAD. So pound CAD, similar to the other pound pairs, we're looking for more upside. We're looking for a Z structure. Okay, let's switch off there. I'm looking at this one as a W, X, Y, X. I'm looking for a Z as well. So let's see how this one plays out. So that means corrective structure in the lower degree, you're looking to take this one to the upside. So let's see here. I think this one has already broken out of this three-wave structure, this X here. Okay, now you look for corrective structures to the upside. Okay, let's go to the lower degree for hour. Okay, you can see that we've already made this. Okay, we made this move to the downside, and now we made a passing move to the upside. Now you're looking for this to correct in the 1 hour to hop onto this one. It will push up higher. Okay, that's pound CAD, pound New Zealand. Interesting. This one moved 200 pips on Friday alone. We took this one as well. You saw on under trade setups. You can go check it. Somebody asked me, I think about 3 weeks back when we did analysis on this one, and I was showing you this triangle here, and he asked, how far will pound New Zealand go? And I gave you a target that looks unrealistic, and I said it's gonna go all the way to a move like this one. And look how far we are. We're already halfway to that move. So when the structure gives you something, you don't argue with the structure because you're not trading with your emotions, you're trading with the theory. So you should remove your emotions out of it. If it's too big and if the structure is showing you something that looks too big, then let it be. So that is why we are now looking for this move to the upside from the triangle. We're looking for this to go all the way up to the blue box. Okay, we've already made this three-way move. We've already made this three-way move from the triangle. 1, 2, 3. So this was the triangle. If you look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completes there. And after the triangle, then we go for upside. So this is a W, your triangle is an X, and then your Y. We're looking for that. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful charts that we're looking at on the pound. We're looking for more upside. Doesn't go in a straight line. You'll get corrections along the way that will make some that are not experienced lose money. Okay, so now what are we looking at on pound New Zealand 4 hour? In the 4 hour, we're looking for it to just go to the blue box. It looks like it has made a 5-way move. This is a 1, this is 2. We're looking for this one to go for a wave 3, a 4, and then a 5 to complete. Okay, so wait for the corrective structure. Wait for the corrective structure. This is an A move. It is pulsing. Let's just have a look there. It looks like yes, it is an A move. So that's why we've got a 5-way structure here. This is the 5-way structure that I'm talking about. It's a 1, 2, and internally here we've got a 3, we've got a 4, and the wave 5 looks like it's going to be an extended one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you're going to have an extended wave 5. You've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and that 5 will give you the A, and then we'll wait for a B, and then we'll wait for a push higher. Very clear structure. You just need to hop on. It's a actually very risky now to buy. It's very expensive to buy it at this area because we're now going into the blue box area of this pair where we can get a correction there before we push higher. Clear structures. We should be making money. It's a Christmas rally after all, so we should be getting all these moves. It's a Christmas rally, guys. Make money for your holiday during the festive season. Right, so that is pound in New Zealand, pound chief we've done. I think that concludes all the pound pairs. Now we can do the euro pairs. Starting with the euro pound. Did I miss any pound pair, guys? Let's make sure that we don't miss anything. Let's do the euro pairs. Now the euro pairs. Euro pound. Let's go to the daily. Clear structures as well. Okay. Not 1 week. I need to get the daily. Right. So you can see euro pound is doing the opposite of what the pound pairs are doing. Okay, this one is getting one more down before the big up. Okay, so now you just need to wait for a corrective structure in the lower degree for one more down into that area on euro. So if we just go to the 4 hour, you'll see that it has dropped with a 3-wave move down. Okay, that blue box, you can see that was for the first 3-wave move down. Now it has made this one here, it is W, and we're looking for this one to give us a correction and complete that move. After that, we'll expect this X and the last move to the downside. Similar, the opposite of what the pound pairs are doing. Okay, this one you can see that the pound is a quoted pair. It's a quoted pair, and on the rest of the on the other pairs, it is the base pair. So that's why we're looking for downside on euro pound. Okay, euro, but euro in general, most all the euro pairs are looking upside. Let's look at euro New Zealand. It's looking upside. As you can see, one of the trades that we are in, if you look at the structure, we're looking for it to go into that blue line. There's a reason why we're looking for that blue line. We spoke about that blue line from right when we were still in this. Okay, let's switch off the labelings there. Let's go daily. Okay, but for this one, for a trade, you just need to look for lower degree correction and take it all the way. But you may be late. You should have taken it with the analysis from last week. Let's see daily, see where we're going with this one. Okay, the reason why we're going there is because of this. And we have seen a move like that with the EURCAD. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We're looking for this one to come back and retest that level. Okay, what's going to happen at that level? We'll see whether we're going to get a move back down here and a push higher. Okay, but right now we're still pushing higher. Don't worry so much about this move downside. We'll worry about that when we get to this level. Okay, so there's still a couple of 100 pips to get to that level, over 600 to 700 pips to get to that level. So any corrective structure that you see to the upside on Euro New Zealand, whichever time frame, okay, we took this corrective structure. We took this corrective structure because it was so clear, and we've pushed up with this move. Okay, it has been moving together with Pound New Zealand as well. Okay, so that's Euro New Zealand, EURCAD, similar to Pound CAD. We're looking for a structure like this one here. Clear structure, but this one is constrained in a what we call a V pattern. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 wave move down. We'll be looking for this one. This one pulls back with a 3-wave correction, and okay, I just need to show it with a clear degrees. Okay, let's show this one here. It will be a 3-wave down. 1, 2, 3 correction. 1, 2. Just need to check here quickly. I'm gonna see. I must get the degrees right. Yellow down. 1, 2, 3, and a pullback. Okay, so let's see if what we're gonna get here is a move down, and this internally becomes a flat correction like that, or expanding or running, whichever one we're gonna get should be okay. So let's see, and then that will make a 1, 2, 3 down here, 1, 2, 3 correction, 1, 2, 3 down. So that's why I've got this setup here, that we may get a corrective structure, go retest there, come back down for 1 before we go up with the rest of the euro pairs. Okay, interesting structure on the euros. That's EUROCAD, EUROAUD. EURAUD also, we took this one here. As you see during the trade setups, 1, 2, 3 wave pullback. Although this one did not really go to the blue box, it was okay. It was a short zigzag. That's why we're going to move to the upside. Now, clearing this opens further upside, minimum around 65.83 on this area. So we need to get corrective structures and keep buying this one. Okay, we are on the trends. All you can do is to keep buying. Okay, when you get pullbacks, you cannot buy without pullbacks. You can only buy pullbacks, because when you buy, for example, if you go market, when the market opens and then you go buy because I said it's going up, this is what's going to happen. Let's say you buy here, then it's going to start correcting, and then you're going to think it's going down. And when it starts going down and then you exit the trade, you are on a loss, then it starts pushing higher. So you need to wait for pullbacks. Okay, don't just rush into this. You need to have a clear strategy, and if you don't have a strategy, you should not be trading real money at all. All right, so that's EURAUD looking for corrective structures. It should give us a bit of a deeper one in the next coming session. If we get a deeper one, we're pushing it higher. All right, that's EURAUD. EURCHF, interesting structure. Okay, EURCHF, very interesting. Starts with a diagonal there. You can see that we've made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move diagonal. So we'll be looking for this to correct here. It will be a wave 2 and a push higher. Okay, so let's just show the whole structure and why we're looking for that one to give us a correction and an entry there. It's going to be a very interesting one if you get an entry point there. Okay, we have made something like this. We've made something like this. It's a move up. Now this has made a 3-wave pullback. Let's switch off there. It's a 3-wave pullback. And now this move is starting with a diagonal like that. Okay, so if it's starting with a diagonal like that and you get a corrective structure like that, we are going to retest this level minimum. Okay, so the euros are looking pretty strong in the next coming sessions. Right, so that's EUROCHF. That concludes all the euro pairs, I think. Yes. Now let's look at some AUD and CAD pairs. New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD, I'm still looking for it to come drop to around this area. Okay, why are we looking for it to come down to that area? We are looking for this one. Look how interesting this one here is. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's switch off the labeling there. So you can see how interesting the structure becomes. You've got 1, 2, 3, you've got 1, 2, 3 internally, you've got 1, 2, 3 internally, you've got 1, 2, 3. Where should this go after this? We'll be waiting for this one to go to the upside. Use your own strategy to trade this. Okay, I'm looking for this one to reverse around this area. Okay, that is a structural area. I need to use the straight line here because my mouse is jumpy. That area, you need to get confirmation of a reversal. Okay, right now you don't have anything, but wait for it to give you an indication. Clear structure, New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CHF, I have to look at New Zealand CHF because I think there's a nice structure looking there. Okay, CHF, New Zealand still looking downside. Immediate move is for on the 4-hour. It's actually a short move. Okay, if you're interested in this one, any corrective structure, it's going to retest this level minimum. Okay, that's New Zealand CHF. Let's look at AUD New Zealand. AUD New Zealand, I'm waiting for it to complete this structure. Then we'll see which direction this is taking. We've made a 3-wave move down. Now we need to wait for this structure to give us a clear. We need to wait for this to give us a clear structure. Then we'll know whether we are going to get this move to the downside. Right now, this is premature, and you cannot really forecast what is going on here. At this stage, all I can see with this structure is that it looks like it's making a complex B correction. Here we've got a pulsing move here. You've got a 1, we've got a 2, we've got a 3. It's a possibility that we're gonna get a red here, and then that red will mean that we've made a 1, 2, 3 wave, and we're coming down. So we need to wait for this one. Looks like it's still gonna push up higher. I will only see how this will go up to this level. Okay, that's out in New Zealand. All right, so I think that concludes all these forex pairs that we look at now. Let's look at the indices. Looking at the indices now, before the indices, let's look at oil. Oil, if you saw CADJPY, it has tagged the top and reversed. Now, oil has also tagged this top, has broken this top. Let's see what the implication of that is. So if that is supposed to be a wave 5, we've made a 1, 2, 3. This structure I indicated a couple of weeks back, even before this formed here. We were looking for this, to do that, to do that, to give us that, and to give us that back down there. Now it has broken the top. Does that change the structure? Not at all. It doesn't change it. All it does is to change the type of corrective structure that we have. And in this case, it looks like it could give us an expanding flat because we've already made a reversal, an impulse reversal from that area. Let's wait for a clear correction and a move to the downside. But that move does not mean anything, guys. Be careful when you sell that, because it could just be a 3-wave pullback and we start pushing up higher in 3 waves. So let's see how that goes. Then that will change the whole structure. You need to get a clear corrective structure like this to show that this is still going to have continuation. But we have now made a impulsive move down. It's gone the 1 hour. It's an impulsive move down. A corrective structure for entry will mean that you need to take it for at least a move that is similar in size as this one. This has made a 1, 2, 3. Could this be a 4? And then we're looking for a 5 before we start getting a corrective structure here and another one like that. So you need to have a move around this area to confirm. This needs to go around the 1,618 of this move before we can confirm downside. We'll update as it goes. That is oil. So for now, you can look to get this correction. It is premature at this stage because it's only a 3-wave move up. It could be going down for this last wave 5, but you can only trade after the correction. But you need to see where the overall cycle is going on this one. That is oil. Now let's look at the indices. Looking at the S&P 500, they've been making pullbacks. Does that mean it's a reversal? Let's look at the dailies, because you need to look on the dailies to see what the indices are doing, because that's what they always do. They always pull back. My overall target on S&P 500 was 307. It has not really been reached as yet. Okay, so now we have made a 3-wave pullback on the daily here. Is this a 3-wave pullback or is this a reversal? Okay, let's see if this is going to push up higher after the 3-wave pullback. It has happened quite often that we get this 3-wave pullback and it just keeps pushing further up. Now, even if you look at this running flat here, after the running flat, it pushes up. After this correction, it pushes up. Here's another correction. Could still push up as well. Okay. So here we had a bigger correction. So this one could give us a bigger correction like that one, and then we push further up. Okay. So this is what you're going to be looking at here. This will tell us if this move to the downside has ended. Okay. So let's have a look here. So it looks like we've made a 1, 2 there. And it looks like we're making another impulsive move into this area. I'm looking for this to go around the 307 area, and for it to do that, this has to be a corrective structure for further upside. Okay, if this is completed now, we should get a you would have made a 3 move down. Let's show on the 4 hour now. On the 4 hour, it would have been a 3-wave move down. It's not even that aggressive. This is a 3-wave move down. Okay, the last leg looks aggressive. This could have been the move that you're looking for, and you still push up higher. Okay, unless we start getting a corrective structure here, then we're going to change the bias, and this one becomes a WX. It makes a double correction. Either way, that will still be this corrective structure, similar to this 1, 2, 3, and then we push higher. Because as far as my projections are concerned, it's supposed to go around the 307 area. Let's see this pullback, how that goes. All right, so that is the S&P 500. Let's look at the NASDAQ, similar. The S&P 500, by the way, has broken the level that we were looking for it to break, which is this one. It is actually right around that level. Okay, so if this is going to be that, and this is all the correction in the middle, it can give us an expanding flat like that. But we'll update that as it goes. For now, we're looking for this one to push higher. If it breaks down lower, we're gonna adjust the analysis on that. Okay, the NASDAQ. Now looking at the NASDAQ as well, it looks like it is making this structure that looks like an expanding flat. This is on the 240 now. Is this going down or is this making any correction? Let's see in the next coming session. For this to confirm that it is a, let's see here, we already have a what seems to be a reversal here. If we start getting a correction here, that means that this is a clear expanding flat on the NASDAQ. Okay, let's just do it cleanly and put this cleanly as well. Okay, so if this is the structure that we're getting, that means that's a move, there's a three-wave move in the middle, and another move that gives us an expanding flat. Just reversing there, a correction here means reversal. Okay, so you can see this is how the indices behave. They always give you these corrective structures, whether it's a big one like the current one, this one is a small one. We spoke about that pullback, and then it's going to push higher. Now it's a bigger one, so let's see. Even the bigger one, let's see this bigger one, if it's going to keep pushing higher. Okay, see corrections, it keeps pushing higher. Correction, it keeps pushing higher. Correction, regular flat, it keeps pushing higher. Is this another one? Okay, let's see if we're going to push higher. Only correction here will make me change my mind about the direction of the indices. Okay. All right, so Christopher is asking for the SA40 index. Next time we'll look at the SA40 index. Okay. Right, so let's look at the rest. We were on the NASDAQ now. Okay, let's look at the UK 100. UK 100. So the UK 100, it was going well with this move, looking like a three-wave move and a push higher. Okay, it has now made a pulsing move here, and there's another one here. So let's see if we're gonna get a corrective structure like that and push higher. Okay, or whether this wants to come down with this one and give us another move to the downside. Then that will make this a WXY move before we go up. Okay, so now there's too many alternatives on this one. You need to wait for this one to set up. All you have here is a single wave down. It needs to be confirmed with a flag. Maybe minimum, it can come back to this level. Okay, let's check how that goes in the next coming sessions on UK 100. All right, that is the UK 100, the NIKKEI. NIKKEI finally broke the top that the other indices has broken a couple of weeks back. This is a three-wave move. Is this a three-wave move on the T NIKKEI, and now we're reversing for this one? I think just like the other indices, the other markets have done, correction here and a push higher. Okay, so I'm still bullish the indices. I'm still bullish on the indices. Not, I'm not expecting the drop as yet. Not that it's going to go on forever. At some point, we're going to get a drop, but not as yet. I'm expecting just pullbacks and pushes to the upside. That is the NIKKEI, the DAX. DAX looks like it's going to retest one down here. Correction. It has made a three-wave pullback here. A correction will take it back to that level minimum. Okay. It will take us back to that level. Okay, so corrective structure. So pullbacks on the indices in the next coming sessions. Notice that I'm not saying reversals, I'm saying pullbacks. Lastly, excuse me, the NIFTY. So the NIFTY pullback as well. You've got this one here. The NIFTY has been rising and rising. It has broken this top that the others broke only recently. Okay, so let's see how that one goes. Could this be an expanding flat? Let's just have a look here. Will it still conform to the rules? It looks like that break is a bit too significant, but let's see. It can still be a running flat like that and pushes higher, or expanding flat and push higher. So those two alternatives, this giving us that, or giving us this as a running flat, or coming down to expand and push higher. So you can just keep selling this one to the downside for this pullback. Okay, so remember we are looking at this stock here from India. It's called the Sun Pharmaceutical. Sun Pharmaceutical, which we bought right at the bottom. So it will be doing the same as what the NIFTY is doing. Okay, so we bought this one right here, and we got all of that move to the upside. Now it is busy correcting with the NIFTY. This is a three-wave move down and doesn't look aggressive. There's a possibility for this to come back up here, come down, 1, 2, 3, push up higher. Okay, so we're still looking for this one to push even higher. That is the Sun Pharmaceutical. So you need to wait for this correction to complete. I do not see a complete reversal from current levels. Okay, but let's see how that goes out. So if this breaks out of this, you can still buy for one more up here, even if we're going to anticipate the one more before you go. Okay, that is the NIFTY. Now let's look at the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin. Let's look here. Let's look at the daily charts. So we'll be looking for pulsing moves to the upside in the next coming session. So if you look at the structure on the daily, we're looking at this whole thing here as a 1, 2, 3 down and a pullback. And after that pullback, we have been getting this corrective structure here on Bitcoin. That is your W, that is your X, and that is your Y. So we're still looking for this one to drop for one more down. And then from there, we'll expect a push higher and then a move to the downside, which will be this one before we get a move to the upside. Okay, so let's just switch off the labelings there so you can see the structure that I'm showing there. So what you have here is this long building sideways structure. It's actually looking like a diagonal. Okay, so there should be strong divergence there. If we got that strong divergence, we should get a strong pulsing move to the upside, similar to the one that you got on Ripple. We'll check Ripple just now, but that move does not mean that that move will be the reversal. It will just be a pulsing move to the upside that will be completing this 1, 2, 3 wave structure. Okay, so now we are still we're looking for this one to drop to complete that move to the downside. Okay, so 4 hour on Bitcoin, we're looking for one down in the next coming sessions. I'm not really trading this because it's short moves. You can see that it's been giving just short moves. These are not clear tradable structures according to my strategy because I don't trade these short moves. Okay, so that is what looks like is going to happen there. Maybe a bit of a push higher before we come down with this move. Okay, so that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin, a bit of a drop back before we get that move. We should have very strong divergence. We actually have strong divergence. You can see that it has been making lower lows, but towards the end here, we're starting to make higher highs. Okay, it's actually not divergence because that is what the structure is doing as well. Not really divergence, it's just going up. All right, that is Bitcoin. We look for this to drop down. Let's see what's on the chat box if it's about Bitcoin. Okay, so yes, so we are busy with the cryptos, Ahmed. Right, that is Bitcoin. Let's look at Litecoin. Litecoin. Okay, looks like it has come out. It has come out of this channel, but that doesn't mean anything until this becomes a clear corrective structure. It has come down here in 3 waves. It's pulling back in 3. You could get another 3 waves to the downside. Okay, so that will make this 1, 2, 3. Well, if we get this one as a drop, then we'll have to see what structure is forming, whether it's giving us a W, X, Y, X, Z before we drop. Okay, so we need to watch this one in the next coming sessions. Wait for this here to complete this corrective structure, maybe a bit of a drop. But I'm not really trading this at this stage because the moves are quite short. Okay, you've got a running flat there. It's a 1. You've got a drop there. You've got a correction. It should come down. It should come down like that. Okay. So after that, let's just see what the daily is giving us. So that is just continuation pattern. It's just telling us continuation, and we're looking to come into this blue box in that area. Okay. We're looking to come down to the blue box. That is Litecoin. Ethereum shouldn't be any different. Okay. Ethereum. If this is a 1, 2, 3 wave, this is the first leg of the second one, and we'll wait for this one to give us a correction before we do the last one to the 100%. Okay, the 100% we should drop around this area here. Okay, we cannot go any lower than this, otherwise then there's no value there. So we're looking for this. If it's a correction here, we're dropping back to this level. Okay, are we gonna go back to 0? Let's see. That is Ethereum. All right, let's look lastly at Ripple. Ripple, you can see that that's the move that I was saying the other cryptos still need to make. If I switch off here, the other cryptos still need to make this move. Whether this move now becomes AW, AX, and then we drop down. Okay, That's what we're not sure at this stage. We need to see what it gives us. If I look on the 4-hour time frame, let's see what is going on. We had that move to the upside in a pulsing move. Let's go 4-hour and see what we have on Ripple. You had a pulsing move, and then it came down in 1, 2, 3 waves. Now you've got these 1, 2, 3 waves. You've got 1, 2. This one looks like it's going to keep dropping back to this level. It could give you a pulsing move up, 1, 2, 3 down, giving you a 3, a correction, and a 3 before we push up higher. Okay, so even if this has made a pulsing move at that level, we may still get to the 0 areas. Okay, so watch out for this one when it breaks out of this channel. Watch out for this one when it breaks out of this channel. I'm expecting that to drop a little bit further down to this level and then push up higher to give us this one, making this a 1, a 2, and a 3. Okay, keep an eye and good luck trading in the next week. All the best. I hope you'll make lots and lots of money. Have a great week, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos. Have a great week. Cheers. Bye.